So the first flatbread recipe that we are making today is lavash. This is the only one with yeast, so siya lang yung may onting rising, resting, and proofing na mangyayari. 5 ingredients, very basic. We have bread flour, or any high-protein flour, some water, lukewarm, dry yeast. We're not using instant yeast today, so since this is dry yeast, we have to make sure it's alive. Some salt, and some sugar. So lukewarm water, we're gonna mix in our dry yeast. Basically, pagka-incorporate nyo ng tubig, nandun na rin yung pampaalsa. Set this aside, salt, okay. Some sugar. Mix it. Flat and clean surface. We're gonna place our flour. What I like to do, I take a bowl and use it to make an indentation. Then slowly add your liquid. You want to make the least amount of mess possible when mixing on the table. That's why it's important to use like a very clean surface and also flat. So pag di siya flat, may mga masastuck na dough dyan or flour, eventually magmo-molds yun. Tapos wala na, madumi na. Okay, so you have this shaggy dough. Just keep on kneading. It's gonna take you about 5 to 10. Medyo malayo yung gap kasi depende siya sa bilis tsaka yung hagod mo sa dough. So using the base of your palm, wrap it down, fold, wrap it down, take the tip, fold, drive it down, and then you rotate while you do that. Now, if you're having trouble with kneading for like 10 minutes straight, what you can do is you can just rest at go, knead for 3 minutes straight, cover it with a towel, moist towel, leave it there for 10 minutes, and then after 10 minutes, knead it for 3 minutes straight. You're gonna be doing that for 3 rounds, because the goal here is a smooth dough. So for the doughs that we're mixing, except for the third one, we want it to be as smooth as this. So this is our lavash dough. And the next step for this one is to portion it out into balls and give it another 15-minute rest. Para lang mas madali siyang i-roll out. Kasi if we don't rest it, we cut it, turn it into tiny balls, and try to roll it out, lalaban siya. So dun sa mga nakapag-bake na dati, pero may onting challenges, parang napansin nyo, matigas yung bread, hindi malambot, yada-yada. Kapag nire-roll out ko, parang bumabalik. Siya yun. Ibig sabihin, kailangan nyo lang siya ipahinga ulit. You have to let it rest for another 10 minutes para lang the gluten would relax and you can roll it out as thin as you can. Okay. Yan. So siya, i-relax ko ulit kasi medyo binugbog ko siya. When it comes to breads, mas preferred ko talaga na we measure by weight and not by volume, not by cups. Kasi yun, sige, fine. If you're trying the recipe out once and you feel like you won't do it again, game. Pero pag gusto mong consistency, na every single time you'll end up with that tender, perfectly sweet bread, kailangan natin mag-weights and measure. Portioning it out into 50-gram balls muna. To help you with shaping your dough, kapag pinortion out natin, since I know na i-rest din naman natin siyang 15 minutes, shape it. Shape mo na siya into a ball. So to do that, you see this? That's the shape that your hand will make. And itong part na to, siya yung nakapatong sa table. Sa table, there. And yung ball, yung dough, syempre dito. And the motion is circular. Okay? It doesn't have to be super perfect. It just has to resemble a ball. So again, cover it with a moist towel or saran wrap or cling wrap para lang hindi siya mag-form ng skin. So if you do that, mahihirapan kang i-roll out, tapos magbibitak-bitak yung dough mo. There. We'll leave this for 15 minutes. This temperature is okay enough. And we'll be back. So double in volume, tas malambot na. Take one dough. Yeah. So for lavash, some people just do theirs na parang oblong. Kasi parang masarap to gamitin sa mga kebab. So we will do that. We will do that for the rest stick of kebab. So pagkakain nila, you just pull the stick. Ay, yun lang. Sobrang ano. So our next recipe is chapati. It's an unleavened flatbread with only just 4 ingredients. So flour. This time we're using all-purpose, or if you have 0-0 flour, okay. Since by weight naman tayo. There's salt, some ghee. If you don't have ghee, you can use vegetable oil instead, and some water. Okay, so just as usual, mix in your salt with your flour para lang even distribution. Again, ulitin ko lang, flat and clean surface. Di pwede yung mga may ridge, di pwede yung gitna ng tile. Kailangan flat lang talaga. Yan. Alright, some water and your ghee. Slowly get flour. So if you are interested in baking bread for yourself or gusto nyo matuto ng basics, hindi talaga rason ang walang mixer. Ano lang siya, more of convenience. Kasi yun lang din naman ang rason kung bakit gusto natin ng technology. It makes everything easier. But, in my opinion, iba pa rin talaga kapag sa kamay mo talaga galing eh. Kapag ikaw yung nagmasa. Ito yung gusto sana natin mangyari kanina. Naging thick paste siya, so even if this breaks off, wala nang tulo, less mess. Yan. Kasi your objective here is to, of course, turn it into one mass or one dough. Pero ang gusto rin mangyari talaga is ma-hydrate yung flour natin. Gets? Yun yung objective. Kaya natin siya minimix. Weird talaga siya at first. Yan, ginaganyan mo siya. Nag-a-apply ka ng force enough to develop the gluten. Kapag nilamas mo lang, ginanyan mo lang ng walang puwersa. So this is good enough, itong smoothness na to. By the way, this is our chapati dough. So I'm gonna rest this for 10 minutes. Next, for the chapati. So dito, ang technique natin, para tayong gumagawang cinnamon roll. Gusto natin parang 1/4 of an inch or more. Okay, as flat as I want it to be. Spread some ghee or vegetable oil. Thin, consistent spread. Then we will roll this. So para talagang cinnamon roll. Right, so after that, flatten it into a disc, and just like last time, roll it out as thin as you can. So for the last one, we are making a batter type flatbread. So ito, para very similar to para lumpiang sariwa. Parang ang gagawa ng ganun, except na it's just flour, no cornstarch, flour, oil, sugar, salt, and some water. Okay, so add your sugar. Then we will add our water in 2 batches. Kasi nga batter type. No. Then we'll rest this for 15 minutes too. And then we'll start cooking. Sanga uwo dyan. Ooh. And so those are the 3 wraps. So isa leavened and 2 unleavened. So the difference between the 2 unleavened, this one is batter or a wet batter type. So ito, chapati. There's a bit more into the process. Chapati. And so lahat to, medyo minimum effort. Like I said, if you don't want to waste your time, I mean, you don't want to get tired from kneading, just give yourself some rest. 3 minutes knead, rest, knead, rest, knead. Yun lang. You'll get there eventually. Patience lang talaga. If you think that your dough is still mushy or pangit tingnan, give it more time. Onting onting effort pa, you'll soon get to the smooth and shiny dough that you want. So proper storage in the fridge, 7 days. Frozen, 1 month.